Real Madrid are one of the biggest and most prestigious clubs in the world, and the iconic white shirt is one that most players dream of wearing at some point in their career. While we know all about the exploits of Cristiano Ronaldo and David Beckham at the Bernabeu, there might be some players you don't know about, so here are 11 players you forgot were at Real Madrid. Number 1. Juan Marta. Despite playing for two of England's biggest clubs in Manchester United and Chelsea, Juan Marta actually began his career at an even bigger club in Real Madrid, coming through the club's academy. The Spanish playmaker arrived at the club in 2003 when he was just 15 years old, spending 3 years as a youth player before making his debut for the Madrid B team, where he scored 10 goals in 39 appearances. Marta was even handed a first team number by Madrid, but never made an appearance for them, leaving in 2007 for Valencia, who activated his release clause. Since then it's been a trophy-laden career for Marta, who won the Champions League with Chelsea in 2012. But if he'd stayed with Real, he'd certainly have won a few more, but I'm not sure Marta minds too much, he seems a good lad. Number 2. Denis Cherish. A World Cup hero, Cherishev's immense performances for Russia looked like they would secure him a huge money move after scoring some brilliant goals, but a permanent move wasn't forthcoming and he's back on loan at Valencia, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but it wasn't the mega bucks £50 million transfer at the Premier League we were all expecting. Despite being Russian, Cherishev has spent his entire career in Spain and linked up with Los Blancos in 2002. The winger had a 14-year affiliation with the club, playing more than 100 times for the B team, as well as 7 first-team appearances in all competitions, bagging himself 1 goal for the senior side. Cherishev left in 2016 for Villarreal, but will always be remembered for his 4 goals at this summer's World Cup. Number 3. Willian Jose. Brazil's second best known Willian, the Real Sociedad forward has been in red hot form in front of goal, scoring a goal every other game last season for the club. The 26-year-old is playing the best football of his career at Sociedad, but he did have prior experience in Spain, dating back to 2014. The forward would join Real Madrid on a 6-month deal from Deportivo Maldonado of Uruguay and spent most of his time with the B team, but he did briefly break into the first team, making 1 appearance. Now linked with big money moves, Willian has clearly come a long way since his brief spell at the biggest club in the world. Number 4. Marcos Alonso. The Chelsea left-back was a shock signing a few years ago, considering the last time he'd been seen in England was with Sunderland, but Alonso fit into Antonio Conte's system perfectly, and despite the change to 4-3-3, he's still an important member of the blue side under Maurizio Sarri. But where did he learn it all? Real Madrid. Alonso began his career with Los Blancos, joining the youth side in 1999. He would make it all the way to the senior side, albeit briefly, making 1 La Liga appearance in 2010 as a 90th minute substitute. After that, Alonso was on his way to Bolton, where it seemed like the Spaniard would never reach the big times again, but a Premier League and FA Cup trophy later, Alonso's stock is at an all-time high. Number 5. Kiko Femenia. From one Premier League fullback to another, Femenia might not have been as successful as Marcos Alonso has been so far, but they have one similarity in that they've both played for Real Madrid. Femenia's journey at the Bernabeu was slightly different though, leaving Barcelona in 2013 after being, in his words, ruined emotionally. Hours after leaving the Nou Camp, he was a Real Madrid player, but his time in the Spanish capital was even shorter, making just 5 Real Madrid B appearances before another release from a footballing powerhouse. Now at 27 he's at Watford and had a great debut season, but it could have been oh so much better had he been able to stick it out at either Barcelona or Real Madrid. Number 6. Joselu. Here's a fact for you. Haskel scored in every game he's played in for Real Madrid, boasting an incredible record of 2 goals in 2 games. It's a record that he hasn't quite been able to keep up, and the Spanish forward has never hit double figures in a league season so far in his career, but that could change this year after a fast start in black and white, scoring against both Tottenham and Chelsea. Haskel was signed by Madrid in 2009 from Celta Vigo and joined Hoffenheim in 2012, but has never shown he had the capabilities of being a Real Madrid striker, something that Newcastle fans can attest to, because despite the forward's fantastic work ethic, he's not the most composed in front of goal. Number 7. Fubini. One of Liverpool's summer signings, Fubini looks like a great piece of business arriving from Monaco, but did you know he was once briefly on the books of Real Madrid? The Brazilian was signed by Rio Ave in 2012, but just a month later he was on the move again, heading to Real Madrid on loan, where he primarily played for the Castilla side, making 30 appearances. But Fubini was able to play for the first team as well, coming off the bench in La Liga thrashing of Malaga, with Fubini providing an assist in the 6-2 victory at the Bernabeu. Next he was on his way to Monaco on loan, where he signed permanently and probably made his name in Europe, and Real Madrid fans might be disappointed that they no longer have the defensive midfielder, knowing they could have had both Casemiro and Fubini in the same team, which would have been one of the strongest defensive midfield combinations in the world. Number 8. Samuel Eto'o. In a long list of illustrious clubs, Sami Eto'o has scored goals at pretty much every club he's been at, but one club where he didn't get on the goal field was Real Madrid, where his professional career began in the late 90s. The Cameroonian striker made 7 appearances for Los Blancos but failed to score, eventually joining Real Mallorca where he began to realise his potential and in turn catch the attention of Real Madrid's biggest rivals, Barcelona. Eto'o headed into the new camp where he had a sensational 5 seasons, much to the anger of Real Madrid, who saw a world-class striker slip through their grasp. Number 9, Rafa Benitez. The Newcastle manager is known for his disappointing spell as Real Madrid manager, but that wasn't the first time the Spaniard was at the club. Benitez is not known for a fine playing career, a man whose work on the touchline far exceeds his efforts on the pitch, but his career did begin with Real Madrid in the 70s, where he would play for both the C and B team, before leaving in 1981 to play for Parla. A knee injury basically ruined Benitez's career, and he quickly entered the coaching game in his mid-20s, eventually reaching the summit in 2015 when he became Real Madrid's manager, in a season that ended with Madrid winning the Champions League. But it was now Zidane in the dugout, while Rafa was suffering relegation with current side Newcastle United. Number 10, Julian Draxler. In what has to be considered one of the strangest transfers of all time, Julian Draxler's horrific form for West Ham was rewarded with a loan spell to Real Madrid in 2009. The French fullback wasn't impressing in England, so why on earth did a Champions League juggernaut like Real Madrid want to sign Julian Draxler? It was a deal that really made us all question their recruitment policy, with Draxler returning to West London after just 2 appearances for the club. Draxler's time in Madrid was not without controversy, firstly missing training when he thought he had a day off, then being pictured asleep on the substitutes bench. Unsurprisingly, Real Madrid did not exercise their option to buy the Frenchman when the loan deal came to an end. And finally, number 11, Gavin Harris. Everyone remembers Santiago Muñoz's time with the club, but what about Gavin Harris? In a shock deal, the English forward would swap Newcastle for Real Madrid alongside his Mexican teammate in a transfer that made no sense, considering Harris had a disappointing debut season for the Magpies. But then again, this is the same club that signed Julian Draxler. Despite the strange circumstances of the move, Harris proved his worth, finding the net in the Champions League final, as Real Madrid overcame a 2-0 deficit to beat Arsenal 3-2. If you've never seen the goal films, none of this will make any sense. So those are 11 players you forgot were at Real Madrid. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.